Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we are going to be watching a video conversation between Chris Williamson and David Goggins talking about the 1 minute decision. Okay. We are living in difficult times. We are living in times where AI is upon us. Most of you watching in a few years will be displaced and jobless. The elites, the ruling class, want you to be jobless. They want you locked up in your room. They want you to suffer inhumanely, be isolated, but mentally be stimulated via the metaverse. Okay, they want total population control. They want access to your resources, your inheritance, your future prospects. They want to control population. They want to reduce the size of the population, and one way to do it is to voluntarily imprison most of humanity, put them inside their room so they can't socialize, so they can't interact with one another, and just fizzle out of existence. Right? They'll create the metaverse. They'll provide universal basic income for you. But in the long run, you will suffer because you will not be able to socialize in person anymore. You won't be able to socialize or date in person anymore. You won't be able to form relationships unless it is online, unless it is via a media platform. The reason for that is because they want to see what you're doing at all times, see what you're saying. The thought police will be in full swing. Um, George Orwell's 1984 is upon us, and it's probably worse than he ever imagined because the way it is being presented is like it is the only solution, the only um, thing that is stopping you from being happy. The WEF already announced that they want you to own nothing and be happy, and one way to do that is to sedate you, is to numb you, is to in essence drug you, whether it's chemically or whether it's via content stimulation. And you must be listening thinking, this bleak outlook, what can we do about it? There is a small chance for you watching right now that you can have an influence on you, your family, and your community. Before AI gets good enough to replace humans, whether it's in terms of your job or via producing content, is for you to start becoming a content creator. You need to get online. You need to farm a following. You need to cultivate a following. You need to become a somebody who can garner attention, somebody who can talk to many people, convey your ideas, and present yourself as a subject matter expert in the thing that you are most passionate about, that is of most interest to you. Okay. And when you do that, you're able to build fans, you're able to create a market for yourself, you're able to sell to that market and gather resources, make money, start building your kingdom, rise to the top, be seen as a king, and your followers will then find sanctuary inside your kingdom. Okay, but for you to be able to do that, for you to become the leader that you always needed, for you to be the leader that the people need, you must start working towards building your fan base. Okay, you need to build your fame. You need to become a celebrity in essence. You need to rise to the top. What I'm doing here on Royal Instinct is I'm looking for 100 people who have the same ideas as me, who want to become an elite themselves, who want to rise to the top. You need to be somebody who is willing to go to the top, and I'm looking to for 100 people who I can help become future celebrities, future influencers. I will help them build their kingdoms. In return, they will help build my kingdom, and we will become a network of kings. We will become a royal alliance. Um, we will have 100 kingdoms within our network, and we'll all be able to work with one another, build with one another, and rise to the top with one another. And then once we are there, we will overthrow the current ruling elites, and we will take over and lead humanity to a brighter and better future. Okay. And we will, because we will have started together, we would have had built friendships, would have built loyalty to one another, and therefore we can trust one another. Because you have to really ask yourself: is the leaders that you currently have, can you trust them? Are they reliable? And if the answer to any of those questions is no, then you must become the leader that you need, and you must become the leader that the people need. Okay, people are waiting for you to for somebody to come to lead them to glory, to lead them to a better world, because the world that we currently occupy and where we are headed is looking ever and ever bleaker. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying, if you want to be part of this journey, then reach out to me, and I can help you communicate your ideas in a more charismatic, effective way. But let's get into it. Let's see what David Goggins has to say.
It's 130 hours. And 130 hours is a lot of seconds, a lot of seconds. And if you lose, let's say you win every second but one, you lost.
I mean, that's such a if you lose one fucking second, right? So already David Goggins, his whole thing is for him to present himself as the superhero guy, so he can provide, build his own fame, and make money at the end of the day, right? Like, how is he able to hang out with guys like Joe Rogan? How is he seen as this superhuman athlete? Don't get me wrong, the things that he has accomplished, that they are, elite level achievements, right? Like, I believe he done the most pull-ups in the world within 24 hours, and I believe he's run several hundreds 100-mile races. Okay, he is an elite level athlete, an elite level human being, performance athlete. But to say that, oh, if you fuck up 1 second in your life, then you ruin what, 130 hours, it's like, it's nonsense, right? Like, you can fuck up, and you should have the ability to recover from a fuck up, especially it's insignificant as a fucking second. Okay, what success truly is, it's, you want to have more successful seconds than unsuccessful seconds, right? So if you say in a minute, if you can be successful for 40 seconds but 20 seconds you fuck up, is like you're still moving ahead, right, into the correct, um towards your goal, towards success. Okay, so already he's putting the criteria on the audience that if you fuck up 1 fucking second, then you lost the whole game. But by the way, guys, buy my book, and I'll help you sort out whatever your problem is.
It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I got to get the fuck out of this water.
And the example he's giving of the water. Remember, he is an endurance athlete. Okay, and endurance is the ability to endure something for a prolonged period of time and not give up. Okay, so in that sense, right, if you put it into that frame, the 1 second decision makes sense. Okay, but if you're doing a job, and you have to have several pieces of information come at you. You need to process those information to make decisions, right? Then this 1 second rule doesn't work, because, right, he's providing the example that he's inside a cold water, and he has to stay inside the cold water, and you're being drowned by waves and waves, and then you're 1 second I can endure this, 1 second I can endure this, 1 second I can endure this, right? And you stack upon that, right? And because in that case, if you say 1 second I give up, put your hand up, and then you're at the water, yeah, the race is over. The endurance feat is over. Okay, if you're doing a 100-mile marathon, yeah, it is literally every step that you're stacking towards the finish line. But most cases doesn't work like that. And so his advice, remember, is very specific towards endurance athletes.
and you're in Hell Week, and you're hour one of 130 hours. It's all fun and games, okay? Because at the beginning of Hell Week, the guns are going off. It's like a pep rally. So you're hyped up, and your boys are linked arms, and you're getting sprayed, and it's like a pep rally. The instructors are yelling at you, bombs are going
And look at Chris's face. He's so happy to be listening to David right now.
off, concussion grenades, blanks from N60s. Yeah, hoo-yah, yeah, 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 motherfucker, yeah. But then what they
He is a incredible storyteller. What you have to realize is David Goggins tells these stories of these of his Navy SEAL days, of his marathon running days, and there's a lot of pain involved. There's a lot of overcoming obstacles, and a lot of challenges along the way, right? And people love stories where somebody overcomes challenges, right? But you have to remember that it's very specific. It's called Hell Week, not Hell Life. Okay, so you have to endure a lot of pain, right? Shrink down into 1 week period. Okay, and if you survive that, you go on to be a Navy SEAL, right? But these 1 second decisions, right? You have to just it's a mental process that you go through 1 week during Hell Week. Okay, the training leading up to it isn't Hell Week. Okay, it's actually similar sort of training, but spread out with breaks in between, so you don't fatigue, so you don't injure yourself. But that 1 week Hell Week is the whole thing of toughening you up mentally, overcoming something. It is like an initiation process. You're only supposed to do it once. He, because he got injured, he failed 2 times, and believe on the third time he got it. Um, and he wears it like a badge of honor that, oh, I survived 3 Hell Weeks. You're not supposed to do fucking 3 Hell Weeks. Okay, you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it once, right? And in most cases, I don't think people will even allow you to do more than 2 Hell Weeks. I think he had some insinuating circumstances. Um, yeah, and you're supposed to put yourself through immense pain, immense suffering for 1 week to see if you're mentally tough enough to endure it. Okay, and don't compare yourself to fucking Navy SEALs. Okay, like that. Navy SEALs are elite warriors, soldiers who go on to fight for the US as a special forces unit. Okay, like they literally pick the best of the best of the best of the best. Okay, they are literally robots to endure as much pain, to not be creative, to just be yes, no, yes, sir, yes, sir, I'll do it, and that's it. Okay, so if you're watching this, comparing yourself to David Goggins, just remember that that he is built differently, and his fans will rebuttal you, being like, oh, that's just an excuse, you're being weak, but it's not. It's like, if we all were like David Goggins making these one decisions, it'll be surely a different world. But it'll also there'll be less joy, there'll be less creativity in the world. I mean, you can just see by talking to him, although he's a great storyteller, um, you know, there is no joy in his eyes. There's no happiness in his face. And and you can say, oh, but he overcomes so many tough things. It's great. Like everyone's got fucking horrible things that happen to them in their lives, but the end goal is to more towards more happiness within your life. Which is why I'm building this network of 100 kings. So not that we can become robots like David Goggins, so that we can overcome our struggles, become filthy rich, live life at the top, and then enjoy a world of luxury that people like Goggins just don't understand. Goggins has the ability to get to the top. He is a multimillionaire. He is a king in his own right, but he's going on about it the whole wrong way, because in his mind is, unless you are suffering, it is you are not doing it correctly, and it being life in this case.
do is they shut that shit off. They shut it off. All that hoo-yah, all that hype, it gets real quiet. And they march you out to that surf zone for something called surf torture. And it's that water, that Pacific Ocean is cold as shit. So no more pep rally. You're now in your head. You're linked arms with, your brothers beside you. You don't know if they're going to be there long or not. You don't care. You think about yourself. You lay back and that first wave hits you. Your mind goes straight from hour 2 all the way to hour 130. You can't process 5 days of this. You're now in a you like I gotta get out of here. You're in fight or flight. It's cold. I can't be cold this long.
And you're not supposed to be in fight or flight for a prolonged period of time, right? Which is why even the Navy SEAL cap it at just 1 week of this process. It's not like they do hell month or hell year and see if you can survive that, right? Because you're not supposed to, right? These are they're endurance athletes. They have incredible abilities and feats of endurance, which you can draw inspiration from towards whatever your goal is. But it's not supposed to be a fucking lifestyle like David Goggins made it.
And then this is where that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to be there. You don't care about SEALs. You don't care about any of this. You don't care about fighting for your country. You don't care about that gaudy gold trident that they put on your chest. You don't care about any of that no more. All you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. You want your girl to hold you. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So what I do in that 1 second, because we all think about quitting, it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information during pain, because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second is
they fail that second because they're not going through fucking hell week. They're not supposed to go through hell week. But right, you're supposed to draw inspiration from this story to apply it to your own life, to apply it to whatever goal it is that you have. And as you're going along in it, your life, as you're moving towards your goal, the second that you think you're going to give up, that I can't be bothered anymore, you're supposed to reframe it and not give up that 1 second and carry on. But then you're supposed to get back into work. Whereas, what he's talking about is during, these endurance feats. It's like whatever you're running, you in fucking water. It's like you're just, oh, I can't do this. Yes, I can. And then just move along. Okay. You're supposed to draw inspiration from it. It's great pearls of wisdom there, but it's not supposed to be a fucking lifestyle like this guy made it.
and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water, because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the beach with the instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on. They got their cup of Joe, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it. So mentally, I get back with them. I'm still in the water physically, but mentally, I'm back with them. I'm chilling. I got my parka on, and now I'm thinking.
So what he's doing there is a mental process called compartmentalization, where you're going through something else, but in your head you park it, whatever it is, the thing that you're going through, and so the pain that he's going through, he's compartmentalizing it, putting it to later, and he's removing himself from it. So in essence, he's actually disassociating his personality from the situation, and which is what happens to a lot of PTSD, post-traumatic trauma soldiers who go through it, victims. That's the word. They call them PTSD victims, by the way. And in essence, David Goggins is just a rich PTSD victim, right? Who's able to tell a great story, who has been through it, survived, come at the other end. But you can see the pain in his face, right? Like let's just zoom in. Like he's got minimal body fat, which people think is great, but he actually just looks like a fucking skull, right? He's already died in his mind, and he's just a walking corpse at this minute.
Logically, because I'm warm now. Mentally, I'm warm. I've taken that 1 second. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit this shit? Where are you going to go? What are you going to say to yourself? Because you know you're going to get warm. The second you
David Goggins is the epitome of grit your teeth and go through it. There's a lot to be learned from the guy. There's a lot to be admired, but just don't, worry if you think you can't live up to him because you're not supposed to, right? He is a walking corpse. He is somebody who has already died inside. He is not a happy person. He is just somebody who is able to endure a lot of suffering, and he's now making a living of writing about and inspiring people to take on the burden and suffer. You're not supposed to be a little weakling. You're not supposed to give up easily, but you're also not built for potential 100% of the time suffering. Okay, like he looks at people who are happy just 1 minute a day, you know, in disgust. Like you're supposed to go through tough times so that there's a reward at the end, right? Imagine if you just work and work and work and work and then that's it, right? And most people, that's how they spend their time, that's how they spend their life, and it's not a fun existence. I want to get to the top, I want to live life, enjoy all the luxuries that life has to offer. If you also want to enjoy all the luxuries that life has to offer and not be a walking corpse like David Goggins, then reach out to me. We see we can work together. If I can help you build your kingdom, if you can become a fantastic storyteller like David Goggins, become more charismatic, become more of a larger personality than he is. But that is it for today. Everybody else, see you later. If you want to work with me, then reach out.